She's a style coach. And she's a sex coach when you need one. Yes, very, very important. She's a relationship coach. Because if you watch her and her life and what she does for people, married and unmarried, you will know that, look, church is actually, I always say church is good. You go and worship with people in the church room, in the chapel. But church is what Nancy Adubia does. You understand? So it is my greatest pleasure to introduce this motivator and encourager. She encourages you what you need. Whatever you need, Nancy Adubia has it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce my friend, Nancy Adubia Anani.
Thank you. Yeah, he was a preacher man, so he needed energy. Me, I'm not a preacher woman, so I'm trying to get a microphone that is softer. Hello, everybody. Lako refused to say that we worked together for how many years? Yes, and she was my producer when I was a sex talk show host. She was the person doing the background work. So between she and I, who has experience? Those of you doing television media, you know that the producer is the one that gives the presenter the information. So she has plenty of it. I thank God for today, and I pray that our time in God's presence here to get knowledge would not be wasted. And man of God, awesome. That was a great word. And you saw me sitting. I was very much with you. But yesterday from morning till 7 p.m. I was doing production. So my tired is tired. And that is the conversation that I want us to talk about today. I hope everybody understands English. And everybody understands tree? No tree here. So strictly English, right? Okay, we have more English than tree, so we'll do that. I came today for the first time. My daughter is with me. My daughters are with me for this event. So let's appreciate my two girls. And I see Lako's beautiful daughter with her as well. We should start taking our girls out for events like this. We don't leave them at home and go do good. I should leave it there or hold it. I cannot have the two. Oh, okay. So we need to go out with them so that we don't go and live a certain life out there that they do not experience. You understand? They do not experience the life that we live out there. And then we come back home and we'll be telling them things that we've given to other people's children and sisters, and their lives have been better. So please, as women, let us engage our children very early. And I'm glad that girls, you're with me. Whether you understand or not, today you know that mommy came to a women's conversation with you that will turn your lives around. And we're going to have a very simple and a very good time. Because I'm tired, my message is inspired by my tiredness. And whenever I have a speaking engagement and I have to wake up at dawn to prepare my word, my chat, my conversation, after sleeping, I know after angels have visited, then my word is divine. And I didn't come to impress every one of you. So if I live here with just one person whose life is going to be turned around, I'll be super grateful that God gave me that opportunity to just turn just one life around. For meetings like this, I always believe that even though the organizer organized it and it's great, there is always somebody that God has a purpose for in this meeting. That Osopho's word will turn her life around, mine would, and all the other speakers. So please be with us and let's have a great conversation. Madam, thank you for inviting me. My daughter who called me to come is actually not here, and I will not forgive her. But it's still good that I have the opportunity to be with great people like you. I came here just to tell women to take it easy. For many, many, many years, we've been hearing information. Everybody is telling us, go forth, break the glass ceiling, do beyond your strength. Girls, I'm here to tell you that when you are tired and your tired is tired, sleep. My message is not going to be very popular. Let me tell you about the makeup of a woman. A very early, you are born, and you know that you are special amongst your siblings because one is a boy and you are being pampered. And as you're growing up, we all come in with I have a vital private parts and all that. And suddenly you see that your brother is not getting anything on his chest. Yours will start coming. Then you become frustrated, wondering what's happening to my body. And then your mother will start telling you, oh, cover yourself, don't let anybody see you. The process of being a woman is tedious. Understanding that my body is changing, and suddenly I wake up one day and there is blood flowing from places that I never thought it would. And sometimes your parents even forget to give you pre-information, and it happens to you now. You are so scared, you don't know what is happening, and then eventually you get to understand. And every month you are hoping and praying that if you do not even put yourself together well, it will not come at a time where you are in public so you don't embarrass yourself. I'm telling you, the things we take for granted as women, that stresses us up, that makes our life complicated. And then you start going through puberty, and you start feeling feelings at certain parts of your body, and mommy and daddy and the church, everybody is telling you, take good care of yourself, don't let anybody touch you, don't let anybody come around you. Hey. And all that. And then eventually you would have to understand that nobody should come around you. You are trying so hard not to get pregnant out of wedlock, yet the feelings are overwhelming you. Being a woman, the moment you start, having your menstruation, ovulation kicks in. The moment you ovulate, your body is demanding for the presence of a man, naturally. And yet the word of God says, and the church says, and mommy and daddy says. And then you see women like Miss Nancy and Lako and Dr. Jennifer, and you say, oh, I want to study. I want to become great. So let me forget about everything and pay attention to my books. Yet your body is calling for companionship. And you have to forget about it and start reading just to break the glass ceiling that you've been told to break. And then you forget about every other thing, pursue your education, and one day you wake up and you're about 35 years and you don't have a child, you don't have a companion, and you are looking back and wondering, what did I do with my life? The stresses of women, the stresses of womanhood. It is not easy to be a woman. And sometimes you are lucky or unlucky. Around 24, 25, you just get pregnant. And then you have one child. And you do not have a husband, and you are there, you are pursuing your career, and you're trying to look for companionship, and you realize that you couldn't do all of it together. And so one part of your life will suffer. At every point in time, women, let us not leave anything important behind just to impress people. You see, your life is important, but the quality of your life is more important. The quality of your life is how you feel on a daily basis, how fulfilled you are, how content you are, how happy you are. Nobody wants to talk about this. We are putting so much pressure on ourselves. You have no idea the number of women that start menopause and they go crazy. Ask my sister. And we do not even have the knowledge that these changes are going to happen in our lives. I am just here to tell you that it's not easy being a woman. But sometimes it is wonderful, you know. With all the things that I have talked about, in my next life, I will still want to be a woman. Are you not happy being a woman? So what is the obsession with trying to be like men? Our lives are already complicated as it is. The problems we have to deal with, the men don't have to deal with it just by being women, just by biology. They don't get their menses, they don't ovulate, they don't have major mood swings. It comes with our kind of body. Why do we want to take the responsibility of being heads of the family? Not when your husband is sick or incapacitated. You want to be the one putting food on the table for everybody. The man is there. So now, with all the complexities of being a woman, you want to take the role of a man too. Are we not tired? Somebody's got to stop us. And what hurts so much is the wisdom, the nurturing, the knowledge, understanding with which we are supposed to raise the next generation. For women like us, if you are not careful, 80% of the time, a young girl from a certain village who does not know her left or right is grooming your daughter that you are sending to $1 million school. When she comes back home, there is nobody to teach her how to sit, nobody to teach her how to talk, nobody to teach her how to eat. And you, a great woman out there, respected in your society, being everything and that, your children are timid, without confidence. They are nothing, because the grace that God gave you, the opportunities that God gave you, you didn't have enough time to raise, groom people after your own likeness. So you are giving it out there, and your children. Today, I'm giving you an assignment. When you go back home, spend time with your children. Assess them. Your children are not only biological. Assess them. Are they anything like you? If they are not 10 times better than how you were when you were their age, we are failing. Because we are supposed to bring out better than ourselves. Hello? I told you my message is not popular. Osofo was speaking about purpose and passion, and how wonderful it is when your skills, your talent, your knowledge finds expression and can put food on your table. We've just been programmed to get degrees and master's and hey doc, PhD, I respect you. I love to read. The only time I don't enjoy reading is when I know I'm going to write an exams after that. So I so respect you. But I'm saying that you put all of these together, and yet we are not able to share the same information. And other aspects of our lives, if we don't manage it well, will fail. And at the end of the day, we realize that we didn't live a life of purpose. Because probably she was happy and really wanted to study very far. And some of us, we are not excited about books and exams. Yeah. Maybe you are like me. And because you met Doc, you have decided that by hook or crook, you have to get a PhD. And so you cannot sleep. You are terrible at reading. You are not passing your exams. Your husband needs your attention. You are not giving it. Your children need your attention. Even in the office, we don't know what you are doing with the little education that you've had, because you are overwhelmed with everything. So nothing about your life is getting the best out of you. Am I speaking to somebody? If it's not for you, if books is not for you, it's not for you. If the kitchen is what it is for you, take it and make better with it. If some of us knew that we loved cooking and we wanted our families to live comfortably and eat healthy, probably we would have gone into businesses that's got to do with cooking. And what's joy than to earn your living with something you love doing? I love talking. At the end of the month, I love to read. I love to research. And what great joy it is that at the end of this month, I will receive salary for being here, for being on television, for going wherever and giving information that is turning people's lives around. Trust me, even if I don't get a salary, I am satisfied. Do what you love. Cleaning. If cleaning is what it is for you, do it and do it with joy. Let your children, your family, people that you work with understand that there is no better cleaner than you. I used to have a house girl that I've never forgotten. Hi. My girl, she's now working in a hotel. This girl is so observant. When I come home, she can look in my face and know that, Mommy, and not a relaxing tea. She knows the kinds of tea I drink and when I drink them, and in what state I'm in that I drink them. She knows that it's been a while since you ate something that is, let me try something local for you. And my heart is with joy. She left my house when she completed school. I found a job for her. And where she is, her bosses called me and said, your daughter, she's been groomed. And she was my house girl. And she's great at this. So when she said she wanted to do it, I said, hospitality is what it is for you. You love people, you love to serve. Let us go, do home economics, and let's carry on from there. Are we going to help our children? Or because law is in vogue, everybody wants their daughter to become a lawyer. Also, a lawyer, no, she's a lawyer, all right. She doesn't look herself. She doesn't look her best because she is not enjoying it. It's so much stress being that because she's not cut out for it and she's not enjoying it. You are insistent that somebody becomes a doctor in your family because there is no doctor in your family. Why didn't you become it yourself? Why are you killing your son? Boys are going to school and they are killing themselves. Do you know that? Do you know the number of suicides at Legon, at KNUST and UCC? Because their marks are coming. They are not great. Please let Amma have my seat. Amma, please have my seat. Sure. They are learning. They cannot do it. But somebody has told them that they should become a lawyer by all means, doctor by all means. When he tries and he is failing, then he has to end it all. Women, let us not do this to ourselves. If being just a mother, if being just a homemaker is what is going to make you fulfilled and happy, don't follow those of us doing career and come and kill yourself. Me right now, my plan is eventually I would have to find a rich man to marry and become a homemaker, so that when I'm called to come and speak like this, I'm not expecting money. And I would have others so that I would be able to impact because I love to. Because there are days that my tired is tired. My tired is tired from being a style coach, being a presenter, being a full-time mother, being a full-time homemaker. Listen, today is Saturday. Trust me, if it doesn't happen today, it would happen tomorrow. Drummy Market, the onion seller knows me. Tomato seller knows me. They know what I get. The fish woman will call me. By the time I leave here, she will tell me that we have fresh from the sea. Me, full-time cook as well. Even when I have a living in help, I want to make my own food. And I want to go to the market myself so that I know what myself and my family are consuming. Very, very important. Somebody will go buy imported things from all over the world. So you are eating from the market, but it's not fresh. Everything is point and kill. Let us be intentional about what being a woman is like. Which man can do this? Why are we trying to be the men? When we are more powerful, we can be everything more. I mean, how can a man be like us? Hey, we can be gossiping on the phone, cooking a good meal, looking for clothes for the children to wear on Sunday, all at the same time. Men cannot multitask. Why are we trying to be like them? Why are we trying to take their place? Which place is it? They have their place on earth as men, and we have our place as women. And whatsoever your hand finds to do, do it with all your strength, in all your humanity. Did you hear what I said? Do it. If you have to be the general manager, be it. If you have to be the CEO, be it. If you have to be a judge, doctor, lawyer, be it in all your humanity. Don't try to be masculine in that process. You are lost. You don't appreciate how you came. I don't know at what point somebody gave us that information, that we should stop being women and start acting like men to feel powerful. When women are the bearers of life, without us, life does not continue. At what point did we think that they were better than us? What happened? Are we going to allow them to be men? And be everything that we want to be in all of our humanity. Do you know the characteristics that a woman comes with? Somebody, I need interaction. When we say somebody is a woman, what are some of the character, nature, virtues that they possess? Share with me, Lago. Naturous. Women are naturous. Any other? Oh yes, indeed, we procreate. Everything you give to us,
We are creators as well.
We are creators. We talk. And that is why we are great for companionship. Yeah. So if you are a very busy woman, you are overwhelmed every day, you do not create that warm ambience in your home, your husband will be chatting to someone else on the phone. And don't come here crying. Because the talk, that ability to create warmth, communication in the home, majority lies on you, the woman, because we were born with it. We were born with that skill. But because you're overwhelmed, when you come back home, you also cross your legs, you'll be reading books and magazines and trying to be daddy. What have you gotten out of that? Fine woman. You are taking away your womanity and putting on everything masculine. I think that the time is here. So if we're women and we are nurturers and we procreate and we add on, can you imagine what a woman doctor would be? Can you imagine what a woman lawyer would be in all her womanity? Is what I'm saying. Being feminine, putting across everything naturally embedded in you as a woman and putting it to the knowledge of your skill and executing. You will have a manager who is able to look at your face and ask you, if you are tired, do you need somebody to talk to? I'm here if you need me. A man will miss it. Unless you are falling down and you are dead, they will not even know that you've been losing weight. But with our eyes, such as God created us, we're able to look in your eyes and see that, you are getting grayish. You don't look well. You don't look happy. Is everything okay in the home? Why do we want to lose this? Because society will be dead without us. Society will suffer without the empathy, the nurturing, the intuition of women. Your husband, your partner, your sons, daughters want to do something. You look in their faces, this one, if you put your money there, with your eyes open, you prophesy and it comes to pass. Just because you're a woman. Men don't have that. Men have the ability to put 2 and 2 together. Okay, so if we put this amount in and we manage it like this, rational thinking. And sometimes the rationality does not work because your intuition is giving you a set eye which the man does not possess. All I'm trying to say is that if it's home making that you are great at, be that. If it's a cook that you are great at, be that. Not all of us will end up in the offices. And even in the offices, there is the secretary, there is the receptionist, and there is the general manager. Not all of us are supposed to aim to be that. Girl, I've seen women with great abilities, special skills, go into management and made a mockery of themselves because management was not for them. Not everyone on us on television. My CEO, Madam Beatrice Ajiman of TV3, she was a newscaster. And she's now into management. And girl, she's killing it. Every day when I say, oh, Miss Nancy, you are such a delight. When I see you walk out of your car, you say, madam, I am dressing to glorify God and swaying. I am slaying all the time, because I have the time. Madam will say, Miss Nancy, please make time. Please remind me that I have to go do my spa. Please make time. Say, chop your CEO. Me, I'm just a presenter. All I'm trying to tell you, the places she can go, the attention she gets, I will not get. But me too, the little that I have, there are some beautiful perks around it that I'm enjoying. Why should all of us want to be like her? There is something that you can do that no one else can do it. There is something that you were created with that comes to you naturally, so you don't struggle to do it. If there is anything that you want to do, please pay attention to all of these things. Unhealthy competition, unhealthy aspirations. Don't we all have friends who have been studying law for 8 years? I mean, yeah. We have friends that have been studying law for 8 years. And they want to just become. There are those that, for time and other life issues, because they are probably a full-time mother, they don't have the time to go, so they have decided that I will take as long as it can take me. And that's a very healthy decision as well. Somebody will say, in 4 years I have to graduate. You see her, she will lose all her hairline. She's looking older than her mother. And yet she's talking big and proud. And yet you see that there is no joy, no fulfillment in all the things that they are claiming that they are achieving. Yes, dream, but let it be healthy. Aspire. Let it be healthy. Do not allow anything to stand in your way. Find your own path and walk in it. It's good for you to have mentors. I had great women like Nana Jo Awendo mentoring me. And during my time, my joy was to hold her back whenever she was in Kumasi. And I remember that she had an opportunity to do an event, host an event at Mensha Palace. And along the line, I think she was too tired, she was feeling sick. And she was like, I need you to take over this. Hey! I had not planned, nothing. She says, Evia, I know you can do this. Take it. Then she introduced me and I take over the microphone. And my career, my life changed after that experience because I had a mentor. If you don't have one, please find one. Just make sure that you don't go and find doctor if you know that you have low IQ. And you say Dr. Jennifer is your mentor. She has a PhD. And you have SHS. Even that one, you struggle to get it. And then you want to be like her. You would never be fulfilled. Let us aspire, but in reality, let's make realistic decisions with all the things that we want to do. There are women who are doing so much. They are everywhere. Some of them on social media. When I see them, I want to believe that somebody is managing their social media for them. Because they are full-time mothers, full-time breadwinners. And that one too, when did it happen? That the women started being the breadwinners of the homes. Probably that's why I'm still single. Yeah. I cannot take somebody's grown man, a whole human being, raised by their mom and dad, and be buying food for him, cooking for him with my own money. At what point would I take off the coat of being the breadwinner and put on that sensual wear of being the lady that will give you pleasure in the bedroom? Something will suffer. Please, allow the men. Sometimes it's not just them. We want to show that we are capable, we are able, and now you are dying and you are still showing you are capable. Tell him that your tired is tired today. Oh, you cannot do it anymore. Okay, when they were introducing me, Lako dared to say that I'm a sex coach. Can you believe it? Virgin like me. How do you mean? So let me tell you things that I've never experienced before. Woman, you need sex too. Sex is not for men. It's not your duty. Hey, are you telling me that when they but please, somebody take all the children outside for me. Or let me do my best to speak in quotes. Am I speaking in quotes? Those oranges in front of you, when they were touched and they were sucked, did you not feel it? So why do you think it's for him only? So you need to, as a woman, there is something that happens to you when you get the big O. My sister Ama is married, and so she's been experiencing it and she can attest to it. When you get the big O, the morning after, you go to work with great ideas, innovative. It's like your body is like a machine, the laptops here. It's been restarted. Everything has fallen into the right place. You enter the office with a certain level of swag and good morning everybody. The girls don't know. And there are days that you go, there is no energy, there is no warmth. And they are wondering what happened to you. And that is because you are not getting what you need. And if you are out there trying to put food, trying to get school fees, at what point would you get into the mood of being that woman that Jezebel was with her husband, that she had so much control, a message that no pastor wants to preach? They would rather want to call Jezebel the evil one, the witch. But she used her beauty and she allured her own husband that he refused to think. Women, that's the power that we have. Do not allow career. Do not allow any of these things to take that one from you, because it's a need for you too. And at a point in your life, women that are warm, women that are attended to, women that have received love physically, when they are growing old, when they are going through menopause, their experiences are different from the ones that didn't. When you are hungry, you eat and you are satisfied. When you are thirsty, you drink water and you are satisfied. Your body has been created to receive other things that will make you feel satisfied, but you don't want to give it because you've given everything other the attention and not that. Today, if you don't live with anything, remember that I said that it's not for him only, it is for you too. And so you will make a conscious effort to receive it. And make sure that the receiving is receiving and is good. So you walk about very, very well. Am I communicating? These children have done me bad. I'm just saying that we need to be women. Even the joy of putting yourself together, cleaning your bedroom, making sure that your bedding is right, making sure that little lacy, slippery things are on your body. If you are overwhelmed with work and children and housekeeping, how are you able to plan that? Some of you probably don't even remember the last time you bought new underwears for yourself. Some of you, your partners hardly ever see you in your underwears. Every time they see you at home, you are wearing 90. Lounge wear. When you are dressed up and you're stepping out, you look awesome. When you come back home, the gentleman doesn't get to see the beautiful woman that other men saw out and about. If you are back to factory settings, everything is all over the place. For you to be that, you have to let certain things go. You cannot have it all. Women, we cannot have it all. And it's high time that we paid attention to this aspect of our life. Lako, when my time is up, please alert me. Okay, thank you. Enjoy being a woman. It's okay to cry. Why? Why have you decided to hoard all your emotions, package everything? You want to be strong. Oh, the bedding. Oh, yeah, Goliath. Oh, the bedding. That's strength. Oh, yes, Samson. Why do you want to be strong when you're supposed to be the weaker vessel? We didn't tell them we were. They said we are the weaker vessel. Let's enjoy being weak. Even though we know we are strong. Let's enjoy being weak and use it to our advantage. Women, we have to learn to be crafty. If you need tears, but me, the tears, the way I struggle with the tears, I can be happy and be crying. But to express emotions like you do, I have to cry to get empathy. It's not coming. It's just what happened to us. We cannot cry. But it's good for you to cry. Every now and then, watch a movie that excites your emotions and let it out. The ones that will make you laugh and fall off the floor. Health is good. The ones that will make you cry and feel almost sad. And then when you are there, you hit yourself and say, we're so a movie now, I find a personal sad. It's healthy for you. It's good for your emotional well-being. These things, when you lose a loved one, don't act strong. Cry. I lost a loved one a year ago. A very good pastor, friend, brother, father, everything. That person I speak to on a daily basis. Last year, he passed, and yesterday was his birthday. So when I was writing my post on Facebook, I cried. When I finished and I called his daughter, I cried. And then his wife called me, and I was like, is this your third crying or your fourth? Because I'm sure you've spoken to people before. Maame Ama Pratt. And we cried and we laughed after that, and we are healing. You need to heal. If you don't heal from that broken heart, if you don't heal from that grief, you will become a burden on yourself and your family. Allow yourself to feel. Women are supposed to feel every emotion, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Allow yourself to feel and heal when you need to. Enjoy and endure the beauty of being a woman. I'm telling you, there are good parts of being a woman, and there are the not so good parts of being a woman. And embrace all of it. Enjoy the enjoyable. Endure what you need to endure. I'm glad that I've not spoken scripture today. I'm glad that I didn't quote anybody. I'm glad that I'm speaking from my heart, my soul, and divine wisdom to you today. Now, I would want to end my conversation with this quote. It says, be the best you can be as a woman, not thinking of life as a man or in comparison with men. Do not lose your femininity touch in all you do, because that is really the miracle of your existence. Do not lose it, being a woman. And trust you me, this quote is by Miss Nancy. I got it out of my bed early this morning when I was thinking about you and me in our lives. Let me try and repeat it. Be the best you can be as a woman, not thinking of life or thinking through life as a man or in comparison with men. Do not lose that feminine touch of yours, because for really, that is the miracle of your existence. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Oh, are we done with the clapping? Thank you. That is more like it. Thank you so much. And I can see my sister Amma here. It's like a family reunion today. Trust me, I don't want to be a man. No. Look at me standing here. I like 6 inches heels. I weigh 85. But I still wear 6 inches. When I feel like my legs are paining me, then I descend to 3. I don't want to be a man. People say, they say that thing, men and women are equal. Where are we equal at? If you say pay, because I put in 10 hours and a man puts in 10 hours, then I expect that we are paid the same. But in life, in our lifestyle, I don't want to be a man. I want to be a woman, so that when I get to the door, my husband will open the car door for me to sit. When I'm sitting at the dining table, we go for lunch or dinner or whatever, he pulls the chair and I sit. Wherever we step into church, he says my wife sits first before I say. I want to lose that? For what? I do not. And like Miss Nancy said, let's appreciate our womanity, because it is very important. If you're a woman, yes, we can accomplish a lot, but really, you listen, there's this thing that people do. When you go on shows and you're a guest on shows, they ask you, so you're a presenter, assuming it's Miss Nancy, you're a presenter, you are a sex coach, you are this, you are a mother, how do you manage? Have you ever heard anybody ask a man that? It tells you that they think that you are the, let's stay there. Eh? We can aspire. Doctor is a doctor, I'm a producer, I'm great at it. You understand? And when you get somebody like a Nancy, you put things in her ear, she will repeat the same thing. You understand? So please, let us be women. Let us be appreciated. I said in the beginning, men were made, women created. See, when you're creating something, you take your time. That is why God needed the rib of the man. He needed to create something. He just made man. Take some clay, put it together, slap it together, is a man. You see how straight they are? There's no hourglass. Okay, now let's proceed. The next person I'd like to introduce is our very own doctor. She has to say a few things to us, a few words to us. I can say a lot about her, but we all know, or we will come to find out, that this is a woman who appreciates women. When I say wellness, I call her my wellness expert. Somebody who cares about not just your physical outlook, but your spiritual. And touches your soul, because that is where you stem from. This is the woman I introduced to you, Dr. Jennifer. Shall we give her a round of applause?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing today? I just have a few words. Thank you for the great speakers. I appreciate it. I was really blessed by both of those presentations. I have a few words. I was thinking about speaking from my heart, but I didn't want to be long-winded, so I'm going to actually read from my notes, if that's okay. You see, ladies, there is a revolution, and that revolution is happening globally. But I can sense and I can feel that revolution happening right here in Ghana. Revolution happens every time a woman is called into political power, every time a woman votes, every time a woman gets promoted into the C-suite of leadership. While this revolution is gaining strength, the other side of the reality is that we are also having women who are experiencing a different narrative. These women are experiencing gender-based violence, discrimination, and unfortunately, oppression. While we can't ignore the progress we have made, women are still in jobs that are poorly paid, where women are seen as reproductive agents, and women are still fighting for their voices to be heard at seats and tables that actually matter. Where the patriarchy has made her believe that her best place is to be in the background and not on the front line. I've been thinking about what I can do in order to strengthen the revolution for a little while now. It occurred to me that the answer lies in three particular areas. First and foremost, we must find our true identity. With the fourth wave of feminism, an interesting shift happened. Radical feminists are now selling our women and girls myths about who she is and what her role is in society. It's a movement that I don't fully align with, as this movement encourages an independence away from man rather than an interdependence with men. It has become an us versus them argument, where one group's gain requires another group's loss. Through this lens, actually, no one really wins. The most powerful way that we can get to move the agenda forward is by offering a different truth. A different truth that I want to share with you today. Effectively, communicating the original design of woman from God's perspective is the truth that I want to offer. When God made the woman, he called her Ezeh. It's not a popular word, but it's a word that I think we need to pause and pay attention to. That word translated means strength. It means warrior. Not power to be wielded for harm, but for good. Men and women are different, but complementary. Her strength, dare I say, is man's greatest asset. She is a warrior. She is the one that man needs beside her. Dare I say again, the world needs women. They need the strength and the warrior of a woman. Secondly, we need to prioritize women. The second way we're able to aid women is by prioritizing them on the agenda. While there is a place for empowerment in the work towards women equality, I've learned that empowerment is the work that comes alongside impact. HIW, High Impact Women, is about more than inspiring and empowering women. We are about equipping them for impact. So how exactly does equipping them for impact work on the ground? It's about partnering with organizations and religious leaders so that there is equal opportunity for women. Ms. Nancy put it well. It's not about equal outcomes, because this is where the agenda has shifted. It's about creating the opportunity that both men and women, based not on gender identity or on gender roles, but on things such as intellect, creativity, wisdom, emotional intelligence, that is how we are able to get into places that we were ordinarily not able to get into. It's about working towards closing wage gaps, improving women's health issues, and preventing domestic violence. It's about working towards policy change, and yes, it's also about providing economical means by which women can elevate. Because after all, how would we be able to help other women if we don't also empower them economically? Thirdly, and lastly, we should help people realize that equality benefits everyone, not just women. Gender equality leads to economic growth, It leads to better health outcomes and a wider range of opportunities for everyone. I end by saying, I am a woman, and I am proud to be a woman. I stand with you today to remind you of God's ultimate purpose for you in this land of the living. We cannot remain dormant. We cannot remain silent. Whatever your hands find to do is what you need to do. We need to rise up and let both sides of the equation know that we are here to activate. We will not remain silent. We will not remain passive. We will not remain in the back seats unless you choose to do so. But High Impact Women is here to provide opportunities so that women can never be left behind, that no woman under our watch, no woman that we come into contact with will ever be able to say that we did not leave them with something different, something impactful, something powerful. Thank you very much for coming here today. It is my honor and my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you so much. Today, I told you, it's like a family reunion. I was just going to walk in and say, okay, the next person is this, the next person is that. But I realized that I could read their profiles, but that's for like people who don't know them. Our next speaker, Miss Nancy mentioned something about Beatrice. I've worked with Beatrice at TV3 when I was doing the news. I've done everything in production, everything, news, whatever. She's a lovely person. And when you talk about managing people, there's another human being who's a woman I'd like to talk about. Her name is Ama. I just call her Ama P. Every time you meet this lady, it doesn't matter who you are, young, old, known, unknown, famous, not famous, she does not care. The first thing she does is give you her signature smile. And then she says, how are you? Good morning. And so everything, you're coming, you're jittery, you're concerned about how you look, or you are nervous, she relaxes you so you are able to talk to her. Isn't that wonderful? Men are like bang, 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 bang. They are like staccato. What is your name? Yes. Okay, sit down, go, come. No. This is what a woman is. And like Doctor said, we are women. Let me say we are a woman. And we are wonderfully made. We are wonderfully created. We don't hate each other. I've worked with these women, and I don't have any bad blood. I can call Nancy and say, Nancy, accommodate me. Can you send me lunch? Oh, she will. She will say, but she'll send me the lunch. If she says, Lako, I need you to do something for me, there's no way I will say no. I went to Ama with a program with someone, and then I ran. She met me and said, you ran away. This is how we work. There's no way we are backbiting each other. If you talk about me to Ama, she'll look at you very strange. If you go and talk about me bad, say something bad about me to Nancy, she'll say, oh, okay. When you leave, she'll call me. Hey, Abaya, this person says this and that and that. If this is what you did, it's not good, oh. But if you didn't do it, then I think don't mind her. That is what we are talking about. Ignore the negativity. This lady is a Pan-African TV. When we say Pan-African TV, somebody must spearhead their affairs. And it is a woman. Her name is Ama Pratt. Shall we welcome her?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lako. Well, thank you for this opportunity. I do not take spaces like these for granted at all. I do not take the things we do in places like these for granted. They are very important. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Lako. Yes, you ran away. We are still waiting for you. And Miss Nancy. Miss Nancy is lovely, isn't she? She's a lovely, lovely, lovely woman. Well, today Our task here is to speak about from passion to purpose. It's a powerful theme. Passion to purpose. Let's start with passion. What is passion? What is passion? Lako, what's passion? Right?
The layman's understanding. When you are zealous about something, you want to accomplish it. That is your passion.
I like it. Zeal. I was going to say passion. I realize that's the same word I'm going to reuse. But emotion, right? Strong emotions for something, to want to do something. So, Miss Nancy is passionate about style, right? When you see her, she exemplifies style. The way she would put her clothes together, the way she would put her makeup together, the way she would walk into a room. We say what? Swag. So if Miss Nancy says she's a style coach, she's living her passion. She's working with her passion, right? Lako likes to talk. She's a beautiful talker, right? So she says she's a producer, but we know she's a presenter, don't we? So Lako is working in her passion. She's hiding. Right? I know somebody that works at the Insights office. In fact, most of us here know her. Naayele. There's nothing that you need in Ghana that she can't go and buy for you and find for you from the market. There's a name for it. There's a job for it. Normally, I laugh at her that she hasn't found her calling. Because guess what? If that were to be her profession, a personal shopper, she would enter these markets and enter these shops and come out of it in ways that would feel natural to her because that's her passion. No? So, passion is what we love to do, our natural inclinations, the things we are emotional about, the things that come easier to us. There's a saying that once you find your passion, you won't work a day in your life because your work would feel like play. You are in your zone, so to speak. So for me, as women, perhaps the first thing we need to do is to find our passions and work within our passions, live within our passions. And as I was walking in, I heard Ms. Nancy speak about that. She said, all of us now want to be lawyers, myself included. I actually have a law degree, right? So a lot of us are following trends. A lot of us are following what seems to be fashionable. So we want to sort of do the, so we are born, we go to school, we get the SS certificates, we go to the university. It's like just sort of doing the rites of passage with no passion, no real zeal, no real commitment. So because once I'm done with secondary school, I have to go to the university. Then I go to the university and I'm offered courses like, right? And you wonder, with all of these courses, when you combine these courses, when you're done, do you hope to do magic? Or do you hope to actually work? But we don't care. So long as we can also say that I've also been to the university and I've also ticked those boxes. But let's think about it. It's the reason why in my former life, in another job, waking up was such a chore. I used to dread the drive from my house to work every morning. It was such a chore. And I used to ask myself, is this what my life is? Is this all I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life? And smiling comes naturally to me, so I could do that on the job. And I've said this to my colleagues, that we even laugh, we have a term around it. I used to say that I would be in position I would do the job. In fact, I was used as an example for my other colleagues then. See the way Amma smiles. But that smile was dead. I promise you. Because in the moment, I have moved my person away from the person that is doing the job. It's not me. I tell myself, I could even be a robot. Let me just follow the, the rules, do what I have to do here, and get out. And the pay was good, I'm not going to lie. The pay was good. So then that became the motivation. But again, is that what life is about? Let's come to purpose. What is purpose? Somebody help me here. When we say purpose, what is that? The reason for which something is done. I like it. So let's stay with this definition. Do you think that every human being has a purpose in life? Do you think so? Do you think that there's a unique reason for which you were born? Do you believe that? I believe that with all of my heart. With all of my heart, I believe that I'm one. There's only one of me. Just one. One. Only me. And it comes back to, again, something that Miss Nancy spoke about, competition. And why it's so pointless. Because if you believe that there's only one of you, and you are made for your purpose, then when somebody else is living in her purpose, that has nothing to do. You enjoy that beauty, right, for what it is. And you look to yours and make sure that your light shines so that she can also enjoy your beauty. And when we put those two magical existences together, then we brighten this world. So bright. Now, how do we make that transition from passion to purpose? How do we make our passions our purpose? How do we do that? Desiring it. Oh, I like that. Desiring it. Yes. Finding ways to magnify your purpose. Wow. I love all the answers I'm getting. Okay. Somebody once said to me that the purpose of your existence is not to be happy. And I was thinking, what? Right? Because isn't that what we all think? That, as little girls, well, I can speak for myself. Me, I loved to read as a little girl. I loved all the Mills and Booms and all the romantic, And all those stories ended one way. And they lived happily ever after. Right? So in my mind, the purpose for my existence is to find happiness. So when this person now said to me, the purpose of your life, of your existence, is not to find happiness, I was confused for a bit. But then think about it, right? And he explained further for a bit. He says, for some, happiness is alcohol. Right? So if I get a good bottle of, I don't drink, but I see the happiness it gives to people. There are people that would, get alcohol and, instantly, it gives them a certain boost. No? The men who like to womanize, I know a few men here, let me put some of them on the spot. I'm told that it gives you happiness. No? that in the moment, there's some joy that me I can't understand, but yeah. So there's that. So if we say our purpose is happiness, I think we would miss the point. No? Because that's when we live in selfishness. No? Because then in a marriage, I'm looking for my happiness. So I can do things that would make me happy. Me happy. That's why somebody will do something and you complain and he doesn't get it. That's why you listen to some conversations and you are wondering, because to the person, it's about my happiness. My life is about my happiness. If I can get to a point where I make myself happy, then I'm fulfilled. No. Shouldn't your life be about impact? No? Shouldn't your existence be about impact? Impact. That because of you, something, anything, something. Sometimes when we think about impact, we think about the big things. Immediately our mind goes to, give me a name, Nelson Mandela. Or we think about Dosajifo, Kwame Nkrumah. Or people who have given us ideas like Karl Marx and all these wonderful things. Yes, they have lived full, impactful lives. Yes. But guess what? Impact is what you can do in your house. As a mother, how are you impacting the children that God has placed in your care? That's impact. And for me, that's the most important impact. Because if we get it right with every child, the world is a better place. Then we don't need to live a whole evolution, a whole era, and then come and start having conversations around equality of the sexes. Because from home we appreciate that a woman is a woman, a man is a man. We know who we are. And we live in harmony, drawing on each other's strengths and helping ourselves with our weaknesses, not competing. No. I mean, how do we live harmoniously if there's ever any kind of competition amongst us as, men and women? It's just us on this earth. It's just men and women on this earth. We don't have a third gender. It's just us. So we do have to coexist peacefully, harmoniously. There's no alternative. There's no choice in the matter. But if we get it right from home, we are good. So for me, I would say that passion to purpose, for me, I would say that it's in finding myself, knowing what my passion is, being true to that, and making sure that I am using that to my purpose. Because ultimately, our desire is to make impact. For me, it's really simple. Really, really simple. I've always known that I'm an advocate. Right? Don't ask me how. But I've always known. And so maybe because of that, I was drawn to the law. And I did that. But what I do now in more ways than one, gives me the opportunity to advocate, right? So when issues come up, like the sanitary pad issues, you realize that you don't need a certain classification or qualification to be able to advocate for that. No? When we went into parliament and we did the protest and we got the speaker to come out and speak about it, when we went back into parliament with the parliamentarians to try and change, what has been done and try and introduce a new bill, there were lawyers amongst us, but not all of us were lawyers. So, whatever I'm doing now, wherever I find myself now, I'm still living in my purpose, perhaps more than I thought I could, as something else. No? Please, are you with me? So I think that the ultimate is for you to have impact there. And, we are told that Maslow's, help me out here, hierarchy of needs. We are told the most important, I like the way you smiled. The most important at the top is what? Transcendence. Right? So, if you found your purpose and you are working in your purpose, you will excel. Because it's not work to you, it's natural. It comes, And like you spoke about Obapa, Nana Window. Let's look at Efia, right? And the way she sings. I dare say if Efia is sleeping and you wake her up to sing, my goodness, the way she will sing. If I go for voice training for 600 years, right? And so she will excel at it because that's her. So that will take us from survival. Because oftentimes that's thrown at us, that whether we like it or not, there's the issue of survival. There's what you just need to survive, and and so because of that, sometimes you put your passion to the side and you try and find something else. That's a conversation to be had. Because sometimes you might not do as well if that's not where your passion is. No? It's not for you. That's why there are so many presenters. But when it's time for Miss Nancy's show, there are some people, if you talk to them, they can't even hear you. They are glued. Right? That's why there are so many hairdressers. But you know where you go to and why you go there. That's why there are so many restaurants. But there are some restaurants, like the one our madam over there has just, what's the name? Give us the name of the restaurant. There we go. Oh, the same name. Michael's Red Eyes, right? So, can we live in our passion with our goal being to get to our purpose? And for me, ultimately, letting that purpose be an impactful one. Because perhaps that would be the truest essence of happiness. When you know that because of you, because of what you have done, because of your existence, the world is a better place. Thank you.
Did you see her smile? That is the first thing you see when you meet her. And everything we're hearing today is culminating to our purpose in Christ. God's purpose for our lives and our purpose as women, and how we have to hold each other's hand to move forward. Let me tell you something. I was sitting somewhere, I had started this master's program. I said, you know what, it's okay, I'm not going to school again. I'm tired. And like Miss Nancy said, my tired was tired. And then I had a call. The person said, I'm registering us. We're going to learn something. And I said, what are we going to learn? She said, oh, don't worry. I'm just registering us. I'm picking you up from your office. I don't have a choice. This particular person, she's troublesome. So she called me, don't roll your eyes. She's standing over there. And so she picked me up. And then we went to an institution. I didn't even know it existed. Trust me. And then she said, which one do you want to do? Food and whatever, or beverages and drinks and whatever. I said, now Lomley, why am I going to learn this? I can cook. We can cook because we've been taught how to cook. Trust me, we cook. And she said, no. I didn't say food. I said drinks and something. And I said, okay, then let's register. I went to the class for how many months? 2 months. And we are graduates of, now we can make you cocktails that you can, in fact. Oh yeah. My being or cocktail move off. If I make you chicken and I add some cocktails to it, Master, you won't leave my house, oh. This is what I'm talking about. She was thinking that, yes, we've all done this. When we, look, she ran away from TV. When we talk, I can write and whatever. She can write, but she says, I don't want to write. I don't care about that. I want the technical side of it. She can set up anything you want her to set up. This, you just leave it to her. She will just go and come. When she finishes, she says, stand there. You put this together. She taught me how to do camera. She taught me how to edit. She taught me how to do sound, not sound man. She taught me how to do sound. She taught me how to do camera. She taught me how to edit, not a man. So when I understand this thing of when they say a woman is working with a woman, so I don't understand the concept of women are their own enemies. I don't understand. I haven't seen that. When a woman is being mean to me, I think that is your character. I don't think it is women. I don't like sweeping statements. That is how women are. No, that is how they are. How? I went to a party and someone said, oh, as for you Krobos, I learned the women are, they are, in quotes, they are very good in the bedroom. And I said, as for us Krobos, what kind of statement is that? He was offended. And I was said, how are you offended? You are asking me that question. You are not getting to know me. You are asking me a question as for you, Krobos. How am I supposed to answer for my whole tribe? I can't do that. You understand? So that is what we should avoid and hold each other's hand. Like I said, it's such a beautiful thing. When women come together, it's such a beautiful thing. And today, I'm leaving here with so many lessons. Miss Nancy said, I came with my daughter. When I was coming, I said, Nana, wake up. We're going somewhere tomorrow, very early in the morning. And then she came with me. She's writing notes on her phone. I said, you don't need a notepad. She said, no, mommy, this is not your time. My time, we write on the phone. So she's writing on her phone. But I'm very happy that we are here today. When you find sisters, I said, look, you can be related to people who are related to you. Look, blood make us relations, but loyalty make us family. I have had family from her mother. I say, I'm her big sister, her mother's firstborn. Oh yes, I am. When I go to her house, everybody knows me. You understand? I am Nancy Adobia's friend, but I'm her big sister. When I need something, I go to her. When she needs to talk to somebody or something, she calls me Abaya. I don't have a choice. You understand? So this is how we are supposed to be living. And God has shown us the way so many times, but sometimes we miss it by listening to the world. The world will confuse you, and tell you that you have to compete with a man. What are we competing for? Doctor spoke, and she ended with, I am a woman. It means that what? She's accomplished. But did she do that with men in her mind? No. She wanted to accomplish something, so she did. That was her purpose. Nancy wanted to be a presenter. She started with, by holding somebody's bag. The world today is telling our children, you don't need to serve anybody. Yes, you need to serve. It is very, very important. When I came from Legon to Metro TV at the time, she asked me, I'm older than she is, but she asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, I like to read. So what do you think I can do? I studied theater arts. And she said, what can I do? She said, okay, you can still be a presenter. And I said, nah, camera in front is not my thing. One day she pushed me on TV though. I did it for one season. I said, I'm not doing it again. So this is what I want us to bear in mind. Women are beautifully made. Women are nurturers. We are children. And Nancy said, you don't have to be a biological mother of a child. I went through a fertility journey, a long journey. At the time, all my friends, your children were my children. Every birthday, I was there with a gift. Every naming ceremony, I was there. When somebody was going somewhere, or I need somebody to be holding the baby, you need to go for church, I am there. I will hold the baby for you. People, supposedly, I am like Mako School sing when I went to Metro TV. She said that is not how to go. And I'm telling you, I am older than her. Oh. She said that is not the way to go. Follow this person, do this thing, do that, do that. You serve, and by the time you finish, Master, what been rough? You understand? Nobody can, and you don't need necessarily go and get whatever, but you are self-sufficient in what you do, and you are able to what? Impact. I don't know how to hide information from people. If I need to teach you, I will teach you. If I have to drum it, I will drum it. Because when it was time for somebody to teach me, the person didn't sit down, fold their arms and say, I don't want to tell her because she will become whatever. I'll become what? So this is what we have to do for each other and with each other. I've talked so much. Let me read something to you. It's another Bible quotation. It says, it's Isaiah 62 verse 3. Isaiah 62 verse 3. This is what it concerns a woman. It says, you will be a crown of splendor in God's hand. You will be a crown of splendor in God's hand, a royal diadem in the hand of your God. Did you hear a man there? It talks about a woman. And this is what we should know, that we are God's, yes, we are all the apple of God's eye, but we go beyond apple. Oh. We go beyond the apple. We are God's very, very special creation. I was reading something, and at the end they said, when a woman cries, God moves. I don't have a problem crying. Oh. When I need to cry, I cry. I will shout this building down, but in the end I'll be crying. And you ask yourself, why? She was upset a bit ago. Why? When I'm upset, I cry. When I'm happy, I cry. When I'm sad, I cry. Every situation I am crying. I'm just a cry warrior. So when you're tired, take a seat. When you haven't found your purpose, sit down, pray about it. Let your knees do the talking. You will find it in that still small voice. It will lead you to finding what you have to do. So with this, I know we have to take a break. We'll take a 10 minutes break and we'll come back. Coffee and tea and some, and when we come back, Miss Nancy, Ama P, Apostle, and Doctor will take some questions from us. So let's think about our questions. Me, I have plenty of questions to ask. Because as you ask and you are getting the answers, it is shaping your way of thinking. And everything starts from your mind. That is why they are telling us that they start from here. You and the man must be together. Please, we are not men. We don't want to be men. We want to be pampered. We want to be loved. We want to be led. Let the man lead. Me, I don't have a problem being a follower. And there's one thing I'll leave with us. I might say it again. When you're praying, be specific. Oh, Father, I want a husband. What do you want? A husband in what? Father, I want to have a PhD in what? To do what with? Oh, Father, I want to be a presenter. Presenter for what? What do you want to do with your presentation? There are people who come to me in the office and say, oh, they introduce me. What do you want to do? What are you good at? Oh, anything. Anything as in why? So you will say probably I have heirs. I don't. I don't like the fact that you don't know what you want to do. What do you want to do? When I was growing up, I knew I wanted to have a restaurant. I don't know, somehow. So this is what we have to do. Find our purpose.
Her leadership and her practice has changed my life. From Trinova Warner Center in Canada, I love you. Bye, Ghana, Trinova Warner Center. Speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.
Jennifer Anthony of Trinova Wellness Center is my therapist. She's not just my therapist, she's also a great supporter, a great friend, mentor, and sponsor. Jennifer is a huge advocate for community. And spending the last 2+ years with her, getting to know her from a therapist perspective and also from a community perspective. Jennifer, through her approach, has helped me to overcome some of the most challenging areas of my life, from dealing with the complex delayed grief of my mom to a challenging motor vehicle accident and to
Purpose, right? But perhaps it's also about really, is it your passion? Why do you want to be that? You know, and would you be impactful that way? It's important for us as women, and I'm learning a lot being here, I have to admit, because oftentimes we push women into leadership, you know, and it's about ticking boxes, you know, for us as women. I am somebody that insists that a woman can, because we can, we really can, you know. We have the abilities to sort of even be chameleons, to contort and, you know, shape ourselves into perhaps spaces that even aren't for us. We can't do that. We have the ability to. But if it's about purposeful living and impactful living, then it has to be the reason for your existence. It has to be for you. It has to be, you know, about something bigger than self. So yes, definitely I see where you're going with that.
So finding our purpose means that it has to be something bigger than self. There's not me, myself, and I when you're trying to achieve your purpose, especially the God-given purpose for your life. Thank you very much, Amma. Now let's go to Miss Nancy.
Okay, so I would want to wrap up with something I didn't say when I was talking about our mental and emotional health. And I came by that when I saw your video. It's very easy at the end of the year, beginning of the year, to go to the hospital, run all the labs to check whether our blood pressure is good, our heart is beating well, everything internally is working well. But we hardly go out there to check how our thoughts are faring. How are we doing? Do we do analysis of who we are becoming? And are we all right? Amma and I were having a very personal conversation about a lady that we know that is suddenly saying everything and nothing on social media. And the challenge was, It's because we are all so fake. We have who we are and who we actually show to the public. And so when we are even going off from who we are, the people that love us are unable to notice because they don't actually know who we are. Because there is a person we have packaged nicely and given out there. And so at least you may have a brand, you may have an image, but there should be people around you, people in your life that you are absolutely honest with, who know who you actually are, so that when you are drifting, they can suggest to you for you to find help, such as Dr. Jennifer has been. I have a personal doctor. I don't talk about my personal issues with my friends. When I'm angry with my partner, I call my doctor. When he sends me a message, I'm wondering what he's trying to, I call my doctor. I talk to my doctor about everything. He does what you do. For that matter, I hardly hear my business out. So the problems of people talking about my private life and actually getting it right is very minimal in my life, even though I'm a public person. So I'm telling you that you need somebody to vent to. As women, mentally, we need to be healthy. We are minding our bodies, but we are not minding our minds. So let us make time and check on it. Doc, is there a way you can go? Is there a process you can go through? And after answering some questions, we get to know whether you are going mad or you are still fine. Yes, I needed to answer.
Well, I think we probably all have a little madness inside of us, right? It depends on what's going to bring it out. But in terms of psychological interventions, I think that we look at dysfunction from function. And so when we look at things that are dysfunctional, we have various assessments that we can use to be able to see where you span in terms of our functional abilities from a psychological, emotional perspective. Keeping in mind that these assessments were created by patriarchal men, white men, in particular. So when it comes to people of color, we need to find different assessments and different tools in order to see whether or not this is okay. Yeah, and I think the best place to understand it is, how are you feeling? Although feelings can be very subjective, but we can start there, even though we don't end there, right? We can start with how you're feeling.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you don't hear your business out, there's a trick. You say something. There are people in your lives you say something to. You don't say it to anybody else. If you hear it out, you know where it came from. Yeah. So then when the madness comes, there's nothing anybody can do about it, because we all have small abodamsem inside. Small.
Small amount.
Yeah, we all have small. And before we go, I will take a few questions, but our last speaker is here.
Yes.
I told you today is a family affair. Everybody else here I know. I know everybody. Everybody is my sister. Oh. Circle is very important. This lady I go way back with. And I always say, when her name comes up and I want to share a testimony concerning our journey together, I say that, look, God watched us do acrobatics. We rolled over ourselves, saw pastors, hospitals, and whatever. And then in the end, we sat down and God said, you know what? Here, I'm giving you some gifts. And He didn't give us one. He gave 1 3, He gave 1 2. That is us. When women meet, two women who like fashion, shoes, bags, whatever, they meet and they don't talk about anything but miscarriages, you know it is morbid. Our journey has been really morbid. We talk about miscarriages. So this year, did you get some? Last month, how many? That used to be our conversation. But we've risen above that. And today, we can smile, we can laugh, we tease each other and all that. Ladies and gentlemen, she's a CEO, she's a boss chick. She says it as it is. She's a TV personality. When you talk about entertainment pundits in this country, there's only one female name that comes out. The others are just addendum. And that name is Whitney Boache-Mensah. I introduce her to you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's clap.
She can come have a seat at the panel. Thank you. She's the end note speaker.
Yes.
Yes.
So she will join you at the panel. All right, so now we'll take questions. We'll take some questions, and then Whitney can end it all for us. The lady in the corner over there said she had a question. Yes, now she's hiding. Why? Why is she hiding? Miss Nancy, Pachome Fro, why? I love you too. Okay, so we'll take some questions. Okay, I have one question here. Lady, I like your outfit. It's so beautiful. All right.
I'm Samantha. This question is for Apostle Temo. Yeah, thank you. Earlier on you spoke about being aligned with a proper associate in order to get into our purpose, and a lot about like social interactions, something, and being aware of who comes to our lives. What in the case of internal conflicts, when it's not to do with people, but there's internal conflict with your own desires, confusion, skills, talents. How can you speak to that? How can you determine what's my passion versus what's my talent, my skills, my confusion? Do you understand my question?
If I get you right, in the midst of confusion, how do you determine what is your passion or your purpose? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, when it's not from
Your talent.
external, when not from external interaction with people, but from internal conflict. Because sometimes one can be unsure about.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And listening to. Okay. Okay. I get your question now. Okay. I was talking to somebody else and I said, the manufacture of the product is the determinant of its purpose. That's why when I came, I don't know if you heard that I spoke about you have to get close to God. What people are saying may want to confuse you or may not set you on the right path. But as you get closer to your maker, the manufacturer, he will tell you what the product is for. So what I will tell you is that let's get close to God. And I thank God for doctors' life that this thing is not just about education, but the spiritual aspect is also very, very, very important. Because you will never know your purpose outside God. You will never. That one, I want to make it clear. You will never know your purpose outside the manufacturer, which is God. So I believe I've spoken right to answer your question. Okay.
So I'm going to be a bit provocative here. So what is about the person that's an atheist, or the person that doesn't maybe is not walking in alignment with God? How, if we are saying that we only know our purpose within the context of God, what do we say to that person?
Okay, thank you. There's a little okay. The person who is not in alignment with God, doesn't believe in God, but must also know his purpose. They have a purpose. Because I wrote some things here that because of that, I said every product on earth was created for a purpose. In this context, everybody on earth was created for a purpose. But what I'm trying to say is that those of us who have gotten to know God or Christ, we easily fall, we fall in alignment easy. Everybody, the atheists, those who don't believe in God, they all have purpose. It is not being unfold well because they don't know God. But once they get or they fall in alignment with God, or they have an encounter with God, it just opens up to them. Okay.
And it's okay. We're not arguing because this is where we get. So just so that you know my disposition. Do you want to say something, Samantha? Pardon me? Sorry, I think she needs a mic.
Yeah, thank you. This question is for you, Dr. Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, how would I address that?
the internal conflict
The
when
inter-
it's not being influenced by external influences.
Yeah, so I think two parts to this, right? So Samantha's question is what happens with our internal dialogue? Um, I think internal dialogues are important because this is where we get to work with our what we call the sublego or the subconscious and our consciousness. And so oftentimes when there's a misalignment, these are dialogues that take place internally. And these are important dialogues because our body is always looking for alignment. Our spirit, our soul, our physiology, we're always looking for alignment. And so internal dialogues, there's nothing wrong with this. So the first thing I would say is embrace it. Sit there and be curious with the dialogue. What is the dialogue trying to say? What is it trying to teach you? What is it trying to really inform you of? And then give it space. So the reason why I am not in full alignment with Apostle, although I do love him very much, and we can love people that we're not fully in alignment with, is because I don't believe that purpose is stagnant. I believe that it unfolds. And so if we are to say on the one hand that those believers that are in alignment with God or understand God will know their purpose, I don't know if that's the case. Case in point, myself, my purpose evolved. And as I got to know God, as I got to inquire of God, as I got to seek deeper, He knows my purpose, but He doesn't always unfold it to me because it is in the sufferings, it is in the trials, it's in the ups and downs, it's in those kind of colorful places that we reside that our purpose kind of comes and floats to the top. And it's in the internal conflict that we can say, where is passion and purpose and where do they align? Is passion and purpose the same thing? No, right? Passion feeds your inner man. Passion will always be about you. It'll always be what makes you happy, what makes you content. Purpose feeds a generation. Purpose is not what I don't want to wake up, but I have to wake up because there's a person out there that needs me to show up. My passion, and sometimes there is a match, and we pray to God when there is. But our passion fuels that purpose so that we can realize that it's not about how tired I am, that there is a generation that is dependent on me for whatever that is, whether it's software engineering, whether it's being a mother, whether it's being an entrepreneur. And then we have to realize that our purpose is for the other, not for ourselves. Our purpose doesn't feed ourselves. And so that is something that we need to reframe slightly because purpose and passion can be a stumbling block because we can continue to be in passion and never be purposeful. We can continue to live in passion and never be able to have results. We can continue to be in passion and never be able to have impact. So it becomes a conduit in some way for our self-gain. So we always have to be mindful around passion and always aim and strive towards being purposeful. What is the end result? How do I give back? How do I unenvelope what I have so that I can feed other people? Like Jesus takes the 2 fishes, the 5 loaves, He raises it up because it's always never about Him. It's always about how do I take that and feed the masses. And that's where passion lies.
Thank you, Dr. Jennifer. So what I'm hearing that passion and purpose is a journey. It's a lifelong journey and takes many, many bends, challenges, sacrifices. Thank you.
Okay, so my lady here now wants to ask her a question. After hiding from me, she's ready.
Okay, please, I want to know. I know everybody has a passion, but then once you have a passion for something, how do you find your purpose? And how do you identify that with this purpose I have, this is how I'm going to pursue it? Thank you.
Please, who take that? Who's the question for, please? She says Ama.
Right. Okay. So At the base of passion, oftentimes is emotion. I think I tried to speak on that for a minute, but I got, derailed there for a bit. And oftentimes they say women are emotional, right? And it's said not as a compliment. And there's a reason for that. I insist that we express and we be in ourselves. And there have been instances where I've said to women that emotions are good, hold on to it, it's fine. But the reason why it's often used as a criticism, because emotion is like your first reaction, it's the first thing you go to. But you need to go somewhere else, right? How do I say? So something happens in the moment, you are emotional and you are in your feelings. And you could say the wrong things or do the wrong things in that moment, with emotion. So it needs to go through some refinements where now perhaps you think more logically, around the issue, and you act more logically and perhaps more purposefully. So that's my attitude with passion too, right? It's the first step. Is the one that opens the door, but you need to go somewhere. I think it's why Doc says you start there, but you don't end there. You take it somewhere else. So if I understand your question correctly, it's how do we move from passion to purpose? Am I right? Is that the question? Right? Yes. So then that would be identifying that passion, right? Knowing it for what it is. So my passion is in talking. If I'm staying there, I could be talking and saying all the wrong things. I'm living in my passion. Now, moving it into purpose then becomes, how do I, using this passion that I have, make impact with it? That's when now you groom that passion. You groom it, you school it, you harness it. And with that same, for me, and I know that, Doc would speak more psychologically into the two and the difference, but in as much the same, a lot of people speak against passion, as in something that is not good. I think a little differently. I think that it can be good. It's the same way I feel about emotion. It can be good. But it's what you do with it, how you school it, how you train that passion. So I love to talk. Okay, how do I school myself to talk impactfully, purposefully, so that that passion that I have then becomes a good tool, not for self, which is why when I was speaking earlier, I spoke about the fact that oftentimes we think that our life is, the end game, or the whole point of our life is to be happy, and how that can be grossly misleading. Because happiness can be very selfish and problematic. But if it's purposeful, outside of self, to the next person, to generations, for good, then for me, you've moved that purpose that passion into purpose. I hope I answered you. Thank you.
All right, I have a gentleman who wants to ask a question here. Gentleman, please.
Right. I would like to first and foremost thank the organizers for this wonderful program. In fact, I've really enjoyed the conversation. And I would like to say that they've really changed some of the perceptions that some of us were holding about women. And there is a bit of question that at the end of the day I would like to ask about what we just discussed here. I've come to understand that from what we just discussed, that the issue is not all about gender equality, but it's about equality for all.